Hey to all craft beer lovers. Yeah, it's time for that beer review once again. Returning to the United States for this little trip. We are returning once again to La Placienta, California and the Bruery. Taking a look tonight, guys, at a little bit of the strong stuff. We are taking a look at an Imperial Stout from their bakery series called Cherry Pie. Described as an Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels with cherries, cinnamon and natural vanilla flavor added. Alcohol 10.2% and it's a 1 pint. Lovely looking can. There you go. What do we have there? Slice into this bold barrel-aged Imperial Stout and experience the nostalgia-inducing aroma of a warm cherry pie. Full-bodied and smacking of freshly picked tart cherries, rich artisan vanilla, cinnamon and hints of brown sugar. This bakery is open for business. And there you go. And there's a look at that lovely, lovely looking artwork. I really dig that brewery. The Bruery. So there you go, guys. 10.2% from the US of A. Let's pop it, see what we get. There we go. Yeah, filled to the brim. Oh, I'm gonna pour it like this, guys, to generate a little bit of head on this bad boy. There we go. And there we go. Oh my goodness me, it smells. It smells of bourbon. There you go, guys. What do you say about that? We have approximately 3 to maybe almost 4 fingers of a nice big brown compact looking head. Lot of small bubbles on top. You can see a lot of small bubbles there on the side of the glass. Pitch black beer in the glass. Doesn't that look very, very good? I think it does. Aroma? Okay. I get cherry and cinnamon on the nose right away. Yeah. Cherry first, then the cinnamon. Then some brown, brown sugar. I think it's kind of a brown sugar vibe. Molasses. Maybe a hint of bourbon. The bourbon, I got the bourbon right away when that can was opened. I got the bourbon, but now the bourbon is a little bit hidden behind the cinnamon, behind the cherry, the malts, the molasses there. That's probably from the bourbon, right? Yeah, it's a pretty massive head still. But that's what I'm getting basically on the nose. It's foremost chocolate, or sorry, not chocolate, cinnamon and the cherries, a little bit of molasses, dark malts. So it smells very nice. So with that said, guys, we will just have to dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, and it actually tastes of a cherry pie. That's absolutely crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I'm gonna go for a second sip right away, guys. Oh yeah. Lot of cherries in there. Ton of cherry, sour cherries. The cinnamon comes through as well. Quite an acidic character, I have to say, with this beer. Quite an acidic character. You got the bourbon there as a kind of a background flavor. It's sticky and sweet, but at the same time quite acidic actually from those sour cherries. It has to be sour cherries in there actually. Has to be sour cherries. It's a very different beer, but it's a nice beer. Definitely a little bit of cherry pie vibe about it. and that bakery there, the bakery series. Of course, they're trying to combine a little bit of cookies and or pastries with the Imperial Stout there, and often bourbon barrel. I have tried a couple of other beers from this brewery, the Bruery. I have done their Vermont Maple, which was absolutely banging. That was a cracker of a beer, almost like a perfection in a can. Check that review out if you haven't done it already. I also reviewed their banana pie, I believe it was, or banana cake Imperial Stout, also both from that series. And I do have their coconut as well to try out. I think it was coconut, something like that, or coconut macaroon or something like that. Let's go for the final sip, guys. What a marvelous beer. Oh yeah. So when they say cherry pie there, as you can see, there, cherry pie, they aren't kidding. They aren't kidding. Cherry pie vibes, lots of sour cherries in there. The cinnamon comes through as well. Don't really get much of the vanilla, to be perfectly honest, guys. The bourbon is a little bit in the background, and I mean, I like that actually. If this had been a super bourbon forward beer, perhaps those cherries and the cinnamon and everything would have kind of disappeared in all that in a kind of an ocean of bourbon. So I'm glad they didn't really made this beer so bourbon forward. So the bourbon takes a step back, and the cherries and the cinnamon takes a step forward. But I mean, I like that. Don't really get the vanilla, as I said, unfortunately. And to one other negative aspect, the beer is a little bit on the thin side, body-wise. But that happens, of course, when you're making bourbon barrel stouts. There you go. So if you can find it, guys, go for it. The Bruery out of La Placenta, California. One of their bakery series, cherry pie. I'm going to give it a solid 4.25 out of 5. Splendid beer. That was everything I had for today. Thank you very much for watching.